Just finishing up a 5.5 day fast. About to break it actually with some bone broth. Yeah, it's been 5 days, over 5 days, 5.5 days that I haven't eaten anything at all. This has been quite an experience. It's definitely been tough. I'd even place it up there with some of my ayahuasca journeys. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that after 3 days, the fast gets easier, but actually for me, it got harder. So, especially yesterday, the day before, the fourth and the fifth day were really tough. Today's already the morning, and it's a new day, and I'm breaking the fast. I feel kind of a little better. I took a cold shower, meditated, did some yoga. But yeah, the energy is still really low. And I think part of that is because I'm dealing with long COVID. That's part of the reason why I'm even doing this prolonged fast. So my energy has been low, and it's kind of been difficult for me to move around. And that's been even harder on this fast. Like, I could just barely move. My energy's been so low. But it's time to break it. So let me take this little sip of bone broth. Amazing. Amazing. It's funny how, we take things for granted and we tend to overeat and overindulge. I think we have an emphasis to lean into that direction. So to take 5 days and not eat anything is just crazy. Like, this bone broth is like the most amazing thing right now. Wow. But yeah, why would somebody even want to do such a long fast in the first place? Well, there's a lot of health benefits, and like I already mentioned, I'm doing it for health reasons. I've been dealing with long COVID for almost 6 months now, and I'm hoping that this can help reset my immune system and help me recover sooner than later. So one of the things that happens when you fast for around 24 hours, you start going into autophagy. And autophagy is basically your cells, your old cells are starting to die off and break down. And this really helps clean out the weak cells in your body. At around 48 hours, your growth hormone levels are about 5 times as high as they were when you started. And at 54 hours, around 54 hours, your insulin level has dropped to the lowest that it's been since you started the fast. And you become way more sensitive to insulin. And one of the big problems that we have with our health, a lot of people have, is they end up having insulin resistance. And that's how you end up getting diabetes. So a lot of people that have diabetes don't really notice, but you could reverse diabetes by fasting. And that's one of the treatment options that they have now. You don't need to take medication. You could simply start fasting. Although it's easier said than done, especially if you've had poor eating habits your whole life. And then what happens at 72 hours of fasting, that's 3 days, your old immune cells start breaking down, and basically your immune system gets rebooted. So if you want to do a reset of your immune system, you fast for 3 days. And that's basically what I was planning on doing. I've done a 3-day fast. I've done 3.5-day fasts before. So I've done it twice before. But this is my first time that I managed to do a 5-day fast, 5.5-day fast. So 135 hours with no food. And yeah, just drinking this bone broth right now is bringing me back to life. It's just like amazing. And I definitely understand why Some people use fasting as a spiritual exercise or a spiritual practice. There were definitely moments where I just felt so vulnerable and weak, and there was like no support. I felt like there was no support. There was no grounding to my existence, and it just shows how much comfort we get in food, and how food makes us feel good, and it gives us energy and nourishment. And food is a blessing. Our access to food is a blessing, but we often like I said, we often overindulge, and we eat too much, and we often eat the wrong foods and the foods we shouldn't be eating, and we end up hurting ourselves. So there's something powerful about not eating food for a long period of time, and just seeing how your perception changes of yourself, of the world, of your relationship with food. I know that my mind was I was just hallucinating food smells. I was thinking about food. I ended up somehow watching videos of people eating food. I don't even know how that happened. It's just like my mind was moving towards that direction. It was definitely challenging. Like, I don't know if it was because of my condition that made it so hard. I've been exercising. I haven't really been exercising the last couple of months because of my condition. So I don't know if like my sugar levels were, my ability to regulate my sugar levels wasn't as good as it usually is. And plus I'm dealing with this long COVID condition, but it was just tough. I've heard the whole 3 days, after 3 days it gets easier. Some people say that after 5 days it gets easier, but it was definitely a big challenge, and it was definitely uncomfortable. And yeah, I'm grateful that I did it, and now I'm rewarding myself with this bone broth. I just wanted to share my experience, and also I wanted to share, there's this app a friend recommended to me. I think it's called the Life app, and it basically tracks when you start your fast, and it shows you the benefits as you get to the certain hour mark of fasting. They also have like circles and communities you can join within the app, but I just found that was like a cool little tool to increase my motivation. So I just wanted to mention that as well. But yeah, I just wanted to share this experience with you, and maybe you'll be motivated to do a fast, whether it's for health reasons or to just challenge yourself mentally or spiritually. I think fasting is a powerful tool for optimizing our minds and our bodies. And I'll follow up. Hopefully this fast somehow helps me recover from the long COVID I've been dealing with. And I'll definitely keep you posted and follow up with another video regarding that. Until then, peace and love.